I don't know a better example of a U.S. patriot than Senator Inouye, and that was why it was so easy for us to name this beautiful vessel after the late senator.
This is the Daniel K. Inouye, Matson's first Aloha-class container ship, and it was named after this handsome man. He's the perfect person to name a ship after because he reflects some of the core factors of Matson's business: the unique importance of Hawaii, ocean transport, and national defense. Inouye had an incredibly interesting life, and at one point literally gave his right arm to defend the country during World War II. But we're not here to talk about Daniel Inouye the man, we're here to talk about the ship and the company that owns it. Matson is a logistics company that specializes in ocean transport, more specifically, ocean transport that involves islands. After looking through 266 companies, I chose Matson as our company to invest in for the letter M, which is extra special because M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, which means we're officially halfway through our A to Z investment challenge. We're still behind the S&P this week, and I'm still not worried. We've got some great businesses here, and over time, that should be reflected in their price. So I'm happy to add Matson to that list. From a high level, what Matson does is simple. They move goods on ships from one place to another, just like some of the huge container ship companies like Maersk or MSC. But that's where the similarities end. There are a lot of differences, but the two biggest ones are that Matson ships are smaller and faster. Where most shipping companies try to make their money through the amount of goods they move, adding more and more containers on larger and larger ships, Matson has a different plan and tries to deliver important goods quickly. A lot of what they move are considered lifeline items. These islands are often dependent on someone to bring goods to them, and aside from the molasses spill of 2013, Matson has not given them a reason to choose someone else. But doing a good job day after day isn't their only advantage. One of the downsides of larger ships is that they take a long time to unload, which is fine for that ship, but a huge problem if you're on a different ship waiting in line because you have to share a port. And if you're just going to be waiting in line once you get there, then you might as well slow down so that you can save fuel. They call this slow steaming. But Matson doesn't do this. They can go full speed because their smaller ships are often headed to smaller ports where Matson has exclusive use. Being smaller is sometimes thought of as a bad thing in business, so you might think that Matson is just settling for a lesser chunk of the ocean transport market. But the spot they're filling is actually a pretty natural one. Their main routes used to be much simpler, going between California and the islands of Hawaii, where it could be impossible to navigate very large ships. Today, Matson has taken that unique group of skills and extended their routes to include China, Japan, Guam, and Alaska. But it's not just skills. Matson also has a legal advantage. This is the Daniel K. Inouye being built, and if you look closely, you'll notice something that is the result of what might be one of the most controversial laws in America today. This ship is being built in Philadelphia. The Merchant Marine Act of 1920, Article 27, is commonly known as the Jones Act, and basically says that if you're moving goods between two U.S. ports, then that ship has to be U.S. built, crewed, and flagged. The Jones Act creates a significant barrier to entry for foreign companies to take over these trade routes, but it also imposes higher costs to everyone involved because the ships are more expensive to build and the U.S. citizens crewing them are paid U.S. wages. The Jones Act might get reformed, but I doubt it will go away entirely because it's useful for national defense, which gives me even more confidence in Matson's ability to stay competitive. And Matson looks like they're in better shape than ever. During COVID, shipping companies got a huge increase in profits because the demand for their services outpaced supply so quickly. Matson has a track record of making solid earnings and paying out a good amount of those earnings to shareholders like us, which is good because it's an asset-heavy business. Building and maintaining giant ships isn't cheap. But with this newfound wealth, Matson solidified their balance sheet by paying down a lot of their debt. So we bought $1,001.08 of Matson stock at $89.65 a share. Now, if Matson is anything like our investment so far, it'll probably drop 5% as soon as I post this video. But in the long haul, I think it's a great company to own.